Hey everybody, welcome to episode number 41 of Big Time Reality TV. I haven't done one of these in a while, but I'm glad to be back. This is, of course, it's me, Andrew Kirk. You guys can find me on Twitter at CACGradAKirk and the blog, which I have.
Wait. Are we? Oh, now we're live. We're live. Okay. Just changed.
BigTimeRealityTV.blogspot.com. And today I got not one, but two very special guests. Let me introduce you guys to my co-host, wonderful YouTube recapper. She said that she's got a recap coming, so yeah, we gotta wait for that. It is.
She says she does.
At Ace Nichols 33. How we doing, Ace?
What's up, everybody? Thanks for watching. I'm not the star here. This is Andrew's show.
I remember a couple months ago. Last time I had you on was Bloodlines preview.
Oh, Andrew, life is life, man. I don't remember that. Sounds about right. I believe you.
I'm very happy to have this special guest. It's been 5 years, can you believe it, since I've last spoken with
It has been 5 years. I'm sorry that's taken me so long to talk to you. I owe you this one.
It is the wonderful Marie Roda. You can find her at Twitter at MarieTBD. How are we doing, Marie?
Yes, sir. I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Good. It's definitely glad to have you back on, and I'm definitely glad that I gotta be honest with you, I was a little bit worried for a couple of seasons that they didn't bring anybody from your season on from Exodus 2 to Rivals 3. And I was like, oh no, are they gonna just let Lee St. Thomas alone? But I'm glad you and Latoya made your comebacks last season and this season.
Well, let's clear something up. I've been in high demand since season, so it wasn't necessarily their decision to keep me off.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see you guys back for sure.
Yeah. So
last showing was
what outside of what you've been doing on the challenge, what have you been up to in your hiatus since we last saw you before Invasion?
Well, after the show, I don't know if you remember the last episodes, but I kind of lost my mind a little bit. And, when you watch yourself back on TV and you're just out of school, you don't really have a resume. It's very hard to, combat the trolls, but also to, feel good about yourself. So it was at that point that I was kind of like, I'm not a reality star. Like, I'm just a star. So I decided to take a long break, and I've been doing technology sales ever since.
Nice.
Sweet.
Yeah, so we seen you back for a minute on Invasion, back on
for a minute.
The challenge.
Actually, I think it was 3 minutes.
It wasn't long enough. I was very sad about it.
Yeah, you and me both.
How did it feel to be back? Did you feel like you fit right back in with the cast, or was it to take a little bit getting used to?
It doesn't take much time to get the situation where everyone's been doing these shows together. They usually have friends and alliances, and again, I kind of found myself in a situation where I didn't really have an ally. Like the one person that I could say for sure would always have my back ended up going home the first day. So there was that.
No good.
No. Terrible.
What you got for Ace?
I want to know what the weirdest thing you did by yourself in the Redemption House was.
Honestly, I don't even know. Like you have to like try to imagine. First and foremost, my friend who's like the VP at MTV, he said when he got word that it was just me in the house, that he like literally told production, do not take cameras off of her. So at all times during the day, like it didn't matter. Like I'd wake up to the camera, like what are you even filming right now? Eating in front of the camera, walking around. It's I almost felt like I needed to be doing something. Like I was being boring, and then I start being my natural self, and I get weird, and I start doing creepy shit. People from production were like, we read the transcripts, of what I was doing there, because obviously they can only pick so much, thank God. But they're like, it's some of the weirdest things ever. I don't even know. And then on top of it, the few times that they did allow me to kind of go out and like explore, I still had the cameras on me. So I'd be walking around Cartagena and you'd have like 5 people like running in front of me and then just like me strolling down the street by myself and everyone staring. Like, who is that person? Actually,
That's amazing.
That's meant to date. So I'm going to put that out there.
That's amazing. I really enjoyed seeing all your little moments from the Redemption House.
You know, I have to say that the Redemption House, for me personally, I mean, being in there alone is probably the best thing that could have happened to me this season, because based on what they kind of showed of me when I was actually in the house, I looked like a shady motherfucker, you know, like I wasn't, you know, obviously I did some shady shit, but I also like owned up to it, and none of that was shown. So I feel like, at least if nothing else in the show, it's a little bit redeeming in terms of like my likability or whatever.
Yeah.
Or maybe I just like myself a lot. Like, I think I'm fucking hilarious.
I like you anyway, so I don't know. I don't know what all these other fuckers are talking about. I like you all the time. So yeah.
Thanks, Ace. I like you all the time too.
Were you a little bit disappointed you didn't get to hang out with Ammo? Because I bet that would have been a good time with you and Ammo in the Redemption.
We definitely would have had a great time, but the same reason that he says that he left, you know, he was just not in the right mental state. And if that was the situation he came into it, I can't imagine us like having the funnest time ever, you know? So I think that out for the best. So
That would have been a good time, like seeing you and Ammo go crazy in that house.
Oh my God. I'm still thinking that like whatever they're going to show, like, you know how on reunions and stuff, they're like, oh, shit, they should have sort of shown. I feel like there's some things that they're still hiding that I did, and I wish I could remember what they were to prepare, but what are you going to do? Oh, whatever.
So I got to know this, Marie. We've seen every single episode. People say, this is a dirty game, this is a dirty game, this is a dirty game. Did production like tell you guys to say dirty as many times as possible so they can remind us that it's the dirty,
sleazy, disgusting, outrageous,
gross?
Am I right though? I mean, every episode we.
No, it's really funny. It is funny. It sounds like that.
So production never necessarily tells you what to say. But for instance, like if they ask you a question, sometimes they'll be like, all right, so this is a dirty game. You know, what are you doing that's, you know, kind of dirty? And then you're sitting there like, I'm dirty because, you know, so it's not necessarily that they tell you what to say, but for us to kind of handle the questions often, we kind of just retract that back.
They set you up.
Yeah,
they definitely set us up.
Because in case people didn't know, the challenge is called the Dirty 30.
Yeah, right? I was like, I don't even know I'm here. Cut to plant push. So.
Hey, do you want me to break out the drawing again? Because I don't know. I still have it somewhere.
Oh my God. Right? Come on. Don't get a break with that stuff. I'm going to smoke a cigarette right now, but that's what I do.
So, do you, boo?
So last night, obviously, weren't here for this, but we obviously saw the whole situation went down with Camilla and Leroy. I'll take on that whole situation. How many more times do we have to do this over and over and over with her? It was the worst last night.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. So here's my take on it. First and foremost, I was clearly still in the Redemption House. So I think all of us, you know, have a responsibility to be as honest as we can be to a point. So I can't, you know, speak for her, and I can't necessarily say what happened because I wasn't there. What we saw is not something that you should ever condone or do. Is Camilla racist? I'm not speaking for her. I don't want any part of that. But you know, it's basically at the reunion. What happened was they told us that they were going to show Camilla footage, or no, they weren't going to show the footage, but they wanted us to speak about it. And every single member of the cast was very upset by that because, you know, not to necessarily protect Camilla in any way, but to kind of show Leroy, you know, and how he handled the situation and stuff like that. And we ended up getting a phone call the night before. I got mine at 10:30 at night. And they were just like, hey, so we're just calling everyone to let them know that we're actually going to show the footage. So I'm pretty sure they scrambled to redo the episode the day of the episode or the day before.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It wasn't fun to watch.
No, it wasn't fun to watch. It's actually disgusting, especially because honestly, in these houses and from my experience, it's never like an issue. And I understand that like in real life, racism is very much an issue. But, you know, you like to think that at this point with this kind of show and like, you know, all of the, I don't know, ways they kind of make it a point to talk about these situations, that it would, I mean, it's 2017, you know, like it's not what we do in the Challenge House. And every single person there was very, very adamant and upset about how it went down. Leroy is the shit, you know, he's a great guy, but it was disgusting behavior. And, you know, that's all I got to say about that, I guess. What do you guys think?
What do you think, Ace?
Well, being a Camilla fan, I am totally now flip-flopped. That was horrible, and I hated watching it, and it made me sick, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I've had those moments where I've been, like, way too wasted, obviously. And I don't remember what the fuck I said the next day, but I certainly have never said anything like that. So
yeah,
that is just a whole different line to cross, and I think that it was just bad, dude. Real bad. And I am not repeating that shit on the recap. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Let's skip right over that.
I don't know about that one. Yeah.
Here's my feeling with it. I tweeted before I even watched the episode. I was like, I get why people are mad at the situation, but people are tweeting, personally attacking her. That's stuff I can't get behind. Like, I don't condone any of it whatsoever, but it's like, I hate it when people attack you guys. It drives me crazy.
I mean, listen, first and foremost, I love it. So all of the people that attack me, keep on coming. You know, it honestly gets me through my day. Two, that is something that is expected with the territory. You know, what you do and how you act on these shows is, I mean, it's an example of you. They can only cut so much and edit so much to make someone seem a certain type of way. I think that Camilla's had a long time coming in the sense of showing her true colors. I like to be the one to say that I was the first to kind of recognize it and get her out early, but, you know, shame on me. But, you know, it's been going on for a long time. There's a couple people that, you know, have this sense of entitlement that they could say and do whatever they want on these shows. And perhaps maybe that's what's kind of, you know.
Banana. Excuse me.
Yeah, he's probably honestly the least of anyone's worries. You know, he's a good guy at the end of the day. But other people, not so much.
This is off topic, but I don't remember what episode it was, but he was like, I bet $275,000 of Sarah's money. I don't know exactly what it was about, but it was a great quote.
Yeah, he kind of repeats that pretty often, huh? He's going to have to pull some more shady shit this dirty season so he can get a new joke.
Yeah, really.
What else we got? Are you drinking wine, Ace?
No, I'm drinking Diet Coke. It's too early. It's 3:00.
Oh,
it's not too early, but I'm supposed to be working.
It's like Alan Jackson said, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right?
Word.
Well, then don't mind if I do.
Good old Alan Jackson.
So what you got, Ace?
This is your show. You go.
Oh, you're helping me. You
want me?
No, yeah. Oh, I have a question. Who's your favorite guy friend in the house? I'm just curious. This is just one of my favorite questions to ask people. Because I love guy friends.
Guy friend?
Yeah.
Did I have any guy friends this year?
I don't know.
I guess Corey honestly became probably my favorite guy friend just because I finally got to spend some time with him. Outside the show, obviously, it's a different story. You know, I love Shane. I love Frank. Honestly, I like everybody. So just a couple that stand out.
Yeah, he actually spoke with Shane last season. He was great.
I love Shane.
Yeah, so
that was definitely a good podcast bucket list checked off.
It was what?
So what are you?
Speaking of guys, what's going on with you and a certain Anthony from Are You the One?
Oh, come on. That's last season's news. No,
Last
me and
season.
Anthony are still friends. I love him. But he's like the little brother that I tried to have sex with, so it's kind of weird. It's a weird situation.
Yeah, he was great. He was great on Are You the One, and then had a brief stay on the challenge. But anyways, moving on to. So what I really want to know, and obviously we'll see this more at the reunion. I was talking about Ace with this. I really want to know what your feelings are with the whole Cara, Maria, Kayla situation, which we haven't seen on TV, but we obviously heard a little snippet of it at the VMAs, and Cara just left to tweet.
I missed all of this, but
I mean, we all love to tweet, so what are you gonna do, right? But so if you look up my birthday profile, if you look up August 11th, like zodiac profile, like my main purpose in life is like to truth find, So like I'm not the type of person to just sit there and let hypocrisy and all these crazy lies kind of get put out into this social media world where honestly people's lives can be ruined. Like you start calling someone racist, it's an issue. I'm sure Camilla's getting death threats. I know Kayla did. But at the end of the day, I mean, you guys are watching the show. What has Kayla done to kind of, I don't know, like, what has she done to deserve that? She seems kind of like likable in her interviews. I mean, I feel that way, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I love her. I feel like her charisma is very addicting.
I like her. Did I not like her at some point, Andrew? Can you remind me?
Everyone did. Here's the thing about Kayla. Everyone didn't like Kayla at some point. Like that's the type of person that she is. I didn't like Kayla on Invasion either. But, when you put everything aside, she's just a normal girl. She's unapologetic for who she is. And those are the type of people that I love.
Yeah.
And
she's grown on me for sure.
Yeah. And I hate just the hypocrisy of some of the things that are tweeted out and stuff by some people. I think that it's kind of ridiculous, especially being in a house where, you literally sat next to Cara saying, Kayla is me when I was young. I think it's a jealousy thing. I mean, honestly, ladies like out there, have you ever like hated a girl that you weren't slightly jealous of? Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
unless they were a racist. So, I think that's it.
That's very true.
She's the fresh meat. Like in high school when you're like the senior and then all the freaking little freshmen come in and you're like, oh God, I hate them so much. Yeah. They're so immature. Like that is Kayla on the show.
Totally. I can't see anything Cara does because I've been blocked since, I don't know, 1967 or something.
Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't gotten blocked yet.
I see all her people are tweeting you though. I'm like, oh Jesus! An army of crazy. I
really love it. Like
I love it too. It's great.
They don't get that. I literally love it.
They don't understand. I love it too.
It gives me the opportunity. It gives me the opportunity to fact check her since she won't acknowledge that I exist in life because I'm an irrelevant fan. So okay, like relax.
I love your number one response to everybody is like, Google me.
Yeah, like, bitch, you know who I am. Get the fuck out of here. I ain't got time for that. Or when they're like, you're just trying to stay relevant. Like, okay, so let's all go back to like, even Google it. You don't need an actual dictionary. But relevant, the definition is actually relatable. And whether or not you like me or you don't, I think a lot of people can relate with the fact that some of these bitches need to be told to sit down. And if I'm the one that has to do it, whatever. It's like, don't shy away from that,
I mean, if people remember Earl St. Thomas, I think you'd be one of the first names to come out of people's mouths.
Oh, yeah, people love it. People love to hate me. It's good. I love it. Listen, if you don't have haters, you ain't doing something right, so.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
You are definitely relevant when it comes to this challenge.
Well, the other thing is that, one of the disses that they like to throw out there is that All right, actually, let's touch on two pieces. First piece is that I'm a fan. Okay, let me think about something. So on freshman, wasn't that a season when fans came on to compete on the challenge? And regardless what season you enter on, even myself, I didn't just walk down the street one day and like get tapped on the shoulder like, hey, do you want to come on The Real World? Like, we were all fans at some point. And at what point did fan become a derogatory term? You know, like, if you're a fan of mine, I'm a fan of you. We relate. You know, you're those are the people that, they're the reason why you're at where you're at. That's why you have a platform to tweet your stupid shit anyway. You know, so if you want to call me a fan, call me a fan, but I'm not a fan of yours. And then the other thing is that they like to say, like, you're playing a scared game. Okay. So I'm pretty sure that, like, the whole point of the show is to not get eliminated. I think that's how you win and get far. So
people should have told Nelson.
If you're not scared to go into elimination, like, what the fuck are you doing? Then go into elimination, motherfucker, if you're not scared. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, you called scared, I called strategy. We all have our weaknesses.
Right.
And strengths, I guess, sometimes. Depends on the sitch, I guess. Which leads me to another point. Sorry, I'm just going to take the show over.
I'll go
because I'm on a roll now. My elimination against Tori. So here I am, you know, being like, listen, at the end of the day, I lost to, like, my last two eliminations losing have been to really great competitors. You know, and regardless of what you want to say about me, you know, it's nicer to have lost to, say, one of these people who I truly think will eventually win one of these shows eventually, if not, you know, this one. And, you know, versus, like, me go against someone really small and, like, break their neck. Like, that's not necessarily, like, a win. It's just the situation. But we get to watch all these shows, obviously, when everyone else does. So I'm, like, all pumped. I'm like, you know what? It doesn't really matter if I got eliminated. Like, in the previews, they show me body slamming her. Like, I'm going to at least look like I, like, you know, maybe have a muscle somewhere in my body. And it was like 1, 2, 3. And I just sat there, like, looking around at my family because I was like, oh. You know, they were like, I thought you, like, said you did pretty good. And I was like, I swear I did. Like,
yeah, I remember tweeting you that last that episode. I was like, you did great, but you ran into a beast, and you were like, that's not exactly how it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, listen, I ran into a beast. Tori was going to beat my ass regardless, okay? I'll be the first one to say it. But I did actually win some of those rounds. So that's something I'd like to get out there. Oh, also another moment was when I actually got nominated in, you know, and everyone was like, Marie's shady, like, she puts our friends in. TJ said, well, Marie, you know, how do you feel about that? And I was like, well, TJ, 1, I gladly accept this rose. And 2, I did this, and this. So in front of everyone, I was like, yeah, I'm a scumbag. I wanted Kayla, Jenna, and Camilla in. Regardless, there's 3 players, blah, 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 blah. Cara and Maria actually looks over, she's like, oh, that was really badass. Okay? Noted. Everyone saw that one. And then TJ doubled down on that and called me badass too. And of course, that wasn't shown because I was a sketchy, you know, muscleless loser for the first 9 episodes of the season.
And then you just played with yourself in a house.
Wonderful.
You're a star, Marie. You're a star.
Yeah, really great. So stupid. 29 years old going on 14. Like, Jesus Christ. I didn't black out, though, or get, like, really drunk in the house because, honestly, drinking alone is not that fun, guys. And if you're drinking alone and blacking out, you might want to go seek help. Yeah. So public service announcement, drinking alone is not cool.
Right.
So I gotta know, what was it like seeing some people that haven't been on in a while? Some of the quote OGs like Veronica, like Derek.
You were about to call them old. I heard you.
OGs.
You were about to say old.
when I was a teenager,
Um,
what was it like having people like them in the house? Like Anissa, she was on Real World 2001, I think.
Yeah.
So it's like,
so
what was it like having those people?
Well, on Battle of the Seasons, if you remember that season, that was, you know, my first, I guess, real season before that. There was really no like big standout names there, and if there were, they went home really early. So this was my first time to be around like these, you know, OGs. And for me personally, I think I was sweating in the airport when I met Veronica. I was like literally fangirling harder than anyone probably could fangirl. You know, I think I like when she asked my name, I was like, wow, you know, like I don't know what I said. But I mean, it's awesome. Like the one thing about the show is that no matter how old you are or how long you've been away or, you know, whatever, it's an experience that will always bring people together on because there's only so few of us that can relate.
Yeah, absolutely. What was it like seeing? I know you talked to Derek on his podcast back in the day. What was it like meeting him for the first time?
Oh, he's awesome. He's as good of a guy as they make him seem to be. So.
Rest in peace, Derek's podcast.
Yeah, right.
That was a good.
I'm sure he'll bring it back soon.
I'm sure.
He can't stay away for long. Nobody can. Nobody retires.
He was on the Challenge Instagram story last week. It was awesome seeing his son. His son has gotten so big.
Right?
I know. I was watching that. Oh my god! I can't imagine how
little awesome.
Yeah. So that's kind of where it's at. I guess the next challenge you're gonna see the final. You know, my final shot at redemption, which was great because I like the entire time was walking around this house like drawing signs and stuff. So really amping myself up for this one. Yeah, I've been asking them for an eating contest like for days and that's not what
let's talk about that. We got you, Anissa, and Nicole. I don't know about you, Ace, but I like her. I like Marie's chances here.
No, I like them too. It's eating, right? Well, are we eating stuff?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. You know I love to eat.
I think you got this.
Oh, yeah. Right? That would be like a sick comeback. I hope they really show, I guess I'll have to talk about it at a later time, but at one point, I had literally convinced Anissa and Nicole, prior to actually even getting to the challenge or knowing what it was, to let me win. So I'm hoping that they show that. I was like, Anissa, let's be honest, like if you go back, you're going right back in. Nicole, you don't want to be here. You know, I was like, I have the best chances. So I'm hoping they show that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But the season is honestly, we got to see like the rest of the season when we went to to film the reunion, and I know people are saying that it's slow and all this other stuff. But things are really, really going to start to pick up. And honestly, the Redemption House, so all you haters out there, is going to be a really great and big piece of this story. So
I think I'm one of the haters because I'm like, hurry up. I have shit to do. Like, it's a busy
What the hell? That's my part, Ace. God.
Now, my thing is with the Redemption House is I like everybody that's in it. Corey's my dude. I had Corey on last season. And
I worry about these hoes. Sorry.
And I just feel like it would be better off if they'd just give you like more extended footage on MTV.com than rather it be on the episodes. That's just me though.
No, I don't think so.
Well, me being a person that's on the episode, I need that little clip of redemption. So I'm glad the production felt otherwise.
I'm glad too, because Andrew, what was that season where they put shit online and you had to go like watch it afterward? That was the most annoying fucking shit. What was that?
Yeah, especially when you do it online, there's about 18 more million commercials than there was on TV anyway.
Yeah, dude. And I had to go back and watch that and I never remembered. So every time I would film the recap, I would film it from the episode and then I'd forget like this huge part that was online that I didn't watch. And everybody would be like, you didn't even talk about bleh, bleh. I was like, no, because I fucking forgot because it wasn't in the episode. So I agree with Marie on this one. Andrew, shush it.
Oh, thanks. There is one last thing that I would like to get out while I have this platform.
That you love me?
Yeah, well, that too. But there's been some talk about people slut shaming Camilla, right? And honestly, I don't believe in slut shaming. If you want to put naked photos, if you want to F whoever you want, all for it, right? So let's leave the slut out of it, and let's just talk about shame. Because if you can't keep it together for 5 weeks, knowing that someone has a family back home and not feeling remorseful at all, that's shameful.
True. Agree.
And that's all I got to say about that.
So a couple more things. I got to know, out of the people from that we haven't seen in a while, people from your real world, people from the challenge, how is people like Frank? How's Frank doing?
Frank is doing great. I mean, there's something to be said about everyone that gets on the challenge. I mean, when I used to go on job interviews, I'd say that the challenge is like my first big sale. We all have pretty big personalities, so regardless, what comes and goes with the show, people are generally able to make a decent living if they want to. But I guess it depends on who you are.
And how about anybody from rural St. Thomas you still talk to? I know I talked to Laura like right before the season started, and she said she's very happy about how you did this season.
Well, how I did? It's not even done yet. How am I doing?
Well, she didn't tell me the results, but she was like, based on the opposite of last.
Laura, when you assume, you make an ass of you and me. Who do I talk to? So I talked to Laura. She sends me here and there, she'll send me pics of her baby who's adorable. Especially because I'm at that age where I like playing with children all of a sudden because I feel like my body's like, you need to have them. My mind's like, no. So I talked to her. Latoya, obviously, that's my girl for life. And I think Rob still has a crush on me because he's always being like, you want to get back together? So.
Oh my God, thanks for reminding me.
Definitely get back to him.
I'm going to totally do a throwback Thursday of his drunken intro with the waffle iron.
I was going to say. I remember one of your throwback recap days, and you're like, it's sad that Rob and Marie will never get back, ever get back together.
Whatever stupid shit I've said for the past 6 years. I don't know. I don't remember. I try to forget it.
Same. I'm like, what? I said that? I'm about to say some really stupid shit in this next episode. So.
Can't wait. I get to re-say it. After you say it, then I get to say it.
The thing is, if you can't make fun of yourself on this, even with Tony yesterday, he tweeted something out that was really funny, about him, being worse than he was last season, and then said, hold my beer. If you can't make fun of yourself, somebody else is going to do it for you. Everyone needs to relax. Everyone needs to take a chill pill and realize that everyone's just human. We're all just human. And that's why I kind of also feel bad sometimes about the car thing. But then, I quickly, jump back to being crazy. And I'm like, meh. So, whatever. Maybe one day we could, work it out. It really depends on, I guess, her willingness to see the light.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're getting rained on out here. Whatever.
So is there anything else that we haven't talked about that you want to clear the air? I feel like you pretty much got everything you wanted to say out there.
I did. Listen, just want to say big shout out to all the people that feel me. Big shout out to all the people that don't feel me. It's been really, really fun to come back. I don't know if I'm going to be on this next one or, in the near future, maybe one of the following. It's always kind of a timing situation.
So
also, a
you
being
want to come back?
Listen, this thing is an addiction. It really is.
Look at her face. She's coming back. Look at her face. I'm reading it. She's coming back.
No, I don't. Listen, I will come back eventually. Maybe by the time I come back, I'll have went to the gym once or twice, but no promises. So,
hey, lifting the wine to your mouth is a real workout. Sometimes.
Listen, I pour a heavy cup, so.
Yeah, right. Me too. How do you think I got these guns?
Exactly.
So, is there anything you want to ask Marie that we haven't asked yet?
When are you going to make me an intro for this season, Marie? Because I've only had about one, and I don't have time to chase people around. So you might as well just tell me now.
Listen, I'll intro you on this next one because there's going to be a lot of Riri in the redemption. So
yes, perfect.
Might as well kick off the show.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Will Sona be there? Only if Will Sona's there. I mean, I can't do it without Will Sona.
So obviously,
Sona got too much airtime. Like some other cast members, her head inflated. And,
her head was really. She got a big head all of a sudden.
She didn't make it home from Cartagena, but R.I.P.
Nice. That's what I had to ask, Andrew. Something about myself for myself. Thanks. You can go ahead now.
Absolutely.
My girl.
So, next week we will get the redemption challenge. Just you and 2 other girls.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
A different kind of.
It's going to be one for the Bucks.
So obviously, Ace, I'm sure you agree with me on who we predict is going to win the redemption challenge for the girls. Who do you think is going to win for the guys, Ace? Corey or Hunter?
Hunter.
Damn. I'm going to say Hunter.
Love Corey, but I got to agree with you.
I said Hunter, but I meant Hunter. As everybody else calls him. Nobody says Hunter. Hunter.
I was watching that elimination last night. That dude's biceps are so... I wish I had biceps as big as that.
Me too.
Holy shit.
Somebody wants...
We got the reunion coming up in, it's 8 weeks, 9 weeks? Feels like the season's never going to end.
Don't they usually have like 15 episodes?
No, but it's honestly just beginning. So everyone just sit tight. You will not be disappointed in anything starting probably right about now.
Do you have any good, lastly, do you have any good New York stories from this past week? With the cast?
No, not no, not really. Actually, there's supposed to be a bunch of tea at the reunion, but I guess someone forgot to bring their pot. That's about it. So
I'm gonna make it to a reunion one of these fucking times.
Yeah, maybe I will too. I won't be so blackout now. Just kidding. I was sober for this one. But yeah. Well, thank you very much for having me and letting me talk your head off.
Absolutely. Like I said, it's 5 years. 5 years too much.
Yeah, don't wait another 5 years.
Don't be a stranger.
I won't. I don't know if I can make it in life another 5 years, so hopefully it's sooner than that.
You and me both.
All right, yeah. I'm an organ donor. I'm like, I don't know if they're going to want this.
Yeah.
Follow this one, Marie Roda at Marie TBD. Did I get
Still
that?
to be determined, yeah.
Yeah, 2 E's. Still, see? I told you. I'm always to be determined. You never know.
Absolutely.
Never know what I'm going to do.
She doesn't want to put that MTV on there. She's like, fuck that. I'm not. No.
Always follow this one. Ace Nichols at Ace Nichols 33.
Yeah.
Somebody stole your handle? It was me.
Yeah, bitches. It's right. I don't want the Marie MTV.
Somebody's catfishing with your picture, with your Twitter handle.
No, it's actually something about money, which is hilarious. So I'll let it stay. But
then you always follow me at CC Grade Kirk. We got plenty more challenge to come. We got a new Argue the One coming out next week. Hopefully, I'll get some of these folks in, and hopefully, I can get some more interviews. And I'm glad I can say I didn't go a season without an interview. I appreciate it, Marie.
You got it, no problem. And there was this one line I wanted to end it off with, but now I just completely ruined it. But you can follow me on Twitter, but I won't lead you anywhere.
Can I get for old time's sake? Can I get out of here?
Oh, get out of here!
I had to.
All right, now you're making me hot. I'm sweating. So
maybe it's all the walking you're doing. Calm down.
I'm serious. I know, Miss Pacey.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
This is why I don't work out. I walk around enough.